Hello everyone, welcome back to SFDC Panther. My name is Amit Singh, and in this video we will talk about how we can use a path element inside our Lightning Flow Builder screen. Previous videos we have talked about how to use Aura and LWC, and the continuation of those videos, here also we are going to use an Aura component to display the path element inside our screen flow. Before we go ahead, please do like, share, subscribe the channel and also press the bell icon so that you don't miss any update from the Flow Builder series as well as from the other exciting videos. Now let's quickly talk about the scenario. Which scenario we are going to implement here is, okay, there is a company called TechFuse India Private Limited which is facing the issues while creating the opportunity. So they are creating the opportunities, but opportunities are not being associated with the contacts as a contact role. Okay, so what we have to do is, as an admin, we have to create a screen component which will create the account. It will also create the contact opportunity, as well as whatever the contact is created, this will be associated with the opportunity as an opportunity contact role, which is OCR. So what we will do here is, in our screen flow, we will use a contact under that account. We will use the information of the opportunity, and then we will also use the information of these opportunity and contacts to create the contact role. What we have to make sure is, if we are inserting the data, that means if there is something in our contact opportunity, then only create all of them, otherwise don't create anything. So if say user provides the information related to contact, doesn't provide information related to opportunity, don't create the contact. If user provides the information for both of these values or both of these objects and then click on next, then only create the opportunity contact. Otherwise don't do that. So what we will do here is, we are basically having a path over here on the top on our screen flow, and we will display the path here. Let's say that this is going to be contact, then this is going to be opportunity, and then this is going to be our finish screen. Okay, so this will contact, this will opportunity, this will finish, and this will be final screen. So this is what we are going to display. So as we have talked about that this is going to be a screen, because whenever we are talking about displaying something on the screen, we are talking about screen flows. So we will go ahead and create the screen flow, and you can select the layout that you want. This time I have selected free from, not free from, we have selected manual. Okay, so we have got this. The very first thing that we need to do is, here in the flow we have to go to the manager. We have to create the various stages, right? What all stages, how our component is going to look like. So for that we will create new resource, and if you remember there was a type of stage, this is what we are going to use. And the first stage is going to be contact information, so we will create that. And in this screen we will be displaying the contact information. Order, let's quickly make it as 10. This order is very important while displaying the stages in order. If you are making 10 and then you are creating another screen which you say that okay, that is less than 10, that let's say 5, then this contact screen will be coming later after that screen that you have given the order as a 5. Make sure it is active. If you don't activate, it will not show in the path. Then click on done. Similarly, we have to do the same for opportunity information. This time I'll give the order as a 10, 20. Why I'm giving the spaces of between the orders? So that if in near future we want to get those orders over here, we want any screen between opportunity information and contact information, we can come back and then give the order as a 15, and that will sit between these two informations, these two screens. And then at the end what we will have is, basically we are going to have three screen. We will say that final, or we can say that finish. And then here order we are going to say as a 30, because that is the third screen. So we have got three stages over here. Let's go ahead and save this flow here. So we will say that opportunity with contact role. So we have just got our flow with the stages. There is nothing right now, right? What we have to do is, as we are going to use this flow inside account record detail page, we have to create one variable to read the ID. You already know how to do that. Just create a type of variable. Variable is going to record ID. Data type is text, available for input, and click on done. Now we have got this record ID as well. Three stages, one variable. Now to display the path element, what we have to do is, we have to create a lightning aura component. Okay, So to do that, I have already created this lightning aura component, but I will show you from step by step. Okay, so if you have created the if you have watched the previous video where we have used aura component inside flow, you have to follow the same thing. Just go to the file new and click on lightning component, and here you can say here, let's say that we'll say here flow screens. Okay, or let's say that flow stages instead of screens. This make more sense. Just put that and then click on finish. So you have got this flow. Now to use this flow inside lightning aura component side inside lightning flow builder, what you have to do is you have to implement an interface. So you will say that implements lightning colon available for flow screens. So you have got this interface, right, available for flow screens. Now what we have to do is we have to use some sort of lightning components, some sort of lightning base libraries, so that we can display the path, right? So to do that, if you go to the lightning component library and search for progress under aura, because we are using aura, you can also use lwc as you have already talked about that. Then what you have is you say that progress indicator, this is what we need. Then it has various types, either you want to use base indicator or you want to use path indicator. Okay, kind of this. If you want this, you can use this, or I want this base indicator, so I'll just go ahead and copy this code. Okay, so let's copy this. You can just change the path, I will show you as well. So if you copy this here, okay, type is basically base. Okay, if you want to change it to, sorry, here type is base, if you want to change it to path, you can change it path, and it will look like this. Okay, here you can see. So that is how it is going to look like. We will say that path. Now what we have to do is from the flow here, from here we need to tell which particular screen we are in. So for that we will create an attribute. We will say that aura colon attribute, and name you can say current stage, and type is going to be a string. And then you have to have one more here which will tell, which will say that how many how many stages you have, how many values you need to show in a path. Right here you can see here, right? If you go our base, you can see we have got 4 values, and this is how it is displaying the 4 values, right? So we need to find out, figure out how many we have. So that is how we are going to get from our flow, and we will say that active stages. So this is the this is our another variable which will have list of strings. So we will be passing from our flow. Okay, and then now here instead of hard coding, what we will have is we will have aura iteration. Okay, we'll say that how we will get that. Let's quickly get back to our library and say here path type with iteration, select that, and we need to copy this aura iteration element, get back here and copy paste it over here, right? What we have is we have active stages, then it is going to have step, is going to have step whatever we have, and then value is also going to have step. Okay, we don't have any label or something. Then we will remove this. So our flow component is ready, which will have some progress indicator with the type of base. Okay, now as you have remembered in the previous videos, we need to have some sort of design attributes if we wanted to take the input from flow and we wanted to send back the input to flow. So we have to create the design. So just go there in the number 7, just select that design attribute, and we have to create 2 variables. What those variables are? One is design colon attribute. So this is what, these are the 2 variables that we need. One is active stages, label is stages, then current stage label is current stage, and this is the help text, the description that we wanted to display to the user. Okay, one more thing that we need to do is if we get back to our component, you can see here there is something, some variable called current step. So this current step must be binded with our variable called current stage. So what will happen is whatever the current stage is, our progress indicator will display that particular current stage. Okay, so that is how we need to display our progress indicator. Then we might wanted to use some sort of style. So there is this style is there. So I have this style already there with me, so I'll just use that. So this is the CSS that we need to use, is basically just to give some sort of padding and margin around our path elements, so that all the components that we put inside our flow, we get that visually which is looking good. Okay, we'll see how why we are using this CSS. If you don't want, you can also remove that CSS, that doesn't matter. Okay, so now our component is ready. We have done whatever all we need. Next thing that we need to do is we need to use this component inside our flow. Okay, So how we will do that? First, let's quickly refresh this page and I will show you how that value is going to look like, and then we will talk about how to change the value for the stages in our lightning component. So to do that, let's quickly have a screen over here, okay? And the very first screen is a contact information. So we will say that, okay, contact information. Okay, this is that the API name is already used, so I'll just remove this. Okay, we got this. Now here let's quickly use our component which says that flow stages. This is the earlier one that I have created. We will use this flow stages, and here what we will say that flow contact information. Okay, now you can see here it is asking us two parameters. One is current stage, one is stages. So we have created three stages if you remember. So how you will get those stages? In the flow there is a variable called active stages. So this active stages is going to get all the stages that you have marked as active by default, the checkbox while creating the stage. In current stage, in the flow, you have got a variable called current stage. You can see here, this is the current stage which will tell in which particular stage you are in. Okay, so you are here done, and then just go ahead and connect this. This is a very simple thing that I'm just telling you. We will talk about how to change the stage in the flow as well. But for now, we will just see how actually we are going to see our outcome. So if we click and go ahead and click the debug, we will see how our path is going to look like. So you can see here, this is the contact information and this is finished. We don't see any, we don't see opportunity information over here. I think we have forgot to put that value. Okay. So if we get back here in the screens, opportunity information, edit this, we haven't activated. See, if we don't activate, we won't see here in the path. So we have to activate, click on done and save it. So that opportunity information will also lie over here. Now what we have to do is, whenever our flow is starting, we need to tell that what is our current screen, what is our current stage. So our current stage is going to be contact. Okay, so we will get back to element and we will say assignment, and that assignment we will say it, this is going to be our stage 1. What variable we will assign? We will assign flow dot current stage, okay, equals to contact information, our screen that we have created, our stage basically. So what will happen? Flow current stage will set to contact information, then we are calling our screen element. So our component will receive current stage as a contact information. Our component current stage will receive contact information. Active stages will receive all the stages that we have 3. So this particular stage will marked as active. Okay. So that is what we have here. Now what we will do is we will just go ahead and connect this. So this is what we have. Now here after the user provides the information, what information we need here is we need the contact name. Okay. So let's say quickly say that we have got name, which will say that contact name here. So API name is going to be contact name, and the values whatever label we can say that it is going to be full name. Okay, or let's say that contact name itself. And then what we need is we need one more variable which is email. So let's make that as email. So these are basically, or let's quickly have one more which is phone, only the basic information, right? So we have got these 3 inputs with our stage component. Now we will go ahead and click on done. Then user here in the screen itself, let's quickly make some changes in the footer. We don't want to display the pause button, so let's quickly hide a pause. For the previous button also we don't want, because this is the first screen. For the next button, what we will say here is we will use a custom label and we will say that next colon opportunity information. Okay, so here this button says that opportunity information. Now here from the contact screen, where we will go to the opportunity screen. So again we need to change our stage, the flow stage. So here we will say that stage 2, and this time what we will say is we will say okay, flow dot current stage equals to opportunity information. This is our stage number 2. Now here what we will do is we'll again add one more screen, and this time it is going to be opportunity information. And then here what we will use is, first thing we will use our component, because that is how we will display our stages. So what we will say is we will say flow opportunity component. Then current stage is similarly we will use whatever we have used, like flow dot current stage. And then for active stage we will use flow dot active stage for our component. Then for opportunity we will use a name field. because that is the required field. Then we'll use amount, which is going to be for currency. So let's say that amount is currency. Then we will have stage, which is picklist field. Then there is one more, which is date field for our close date. Okay, these are the four fields we need for opportunity. So we'll say that name, then we have got amount, then we have got picklist, which is going to be stage name. We have to provide the values. You already know how to do that. Create a new picklist choice set, and you can say that variable stage name. Your object is opportunity where your picklist field resides. Select picklist and select stage name. Go ahead and click on done. And then for date, you can say it is going to be closed date. And here click on done. So now what we are here is we have updated the stage so that our components show whatever the stage opportunity information. Then we are displaying the opportunity information. And then after again we have to change the stage. So this is going to be stage 3, where we will say our stage this time it is going to be finish. Okay, we will say that finish. And then here what we will do is we will say okay, let's go ahead and click on. So what it is going to be, it is going to be finish screen. And then what value we will display? First thing we will display our flow stage, and we will say that it is flow finish. Provide the current stage as well as the active stage from the flow global variable. And in the finish screen we will use a display text component. Okay, so we have to just drag and drop display text, and we will say that success. And here what we will say that record successfully created. And then what you can do is you can just change the size if you want. You can change the color if you want to have a green color. You wanted to put in a center, and that's it. You wanted to put some sort of margin from the top, you can do that. Then configure the footer. We don't need a pause screen, so we'll remove that. We need a previous, but it should be like previous contact information. Okay, no, it's not contact information, it is opportunity information. And for the next, we will say it is going to say okay, if you are, and then we will use label for next button, which will say that next create another opportunity. So these are the labels that we have. Okay, this is for this screen. So now we have to just connect the dots. We have to configure the screen for this particular as well. So we'll configure the footer, hide the pause button, we don't need. For the next, we will say that next create opportunity, and for the previous we will say that previous contact information. And then we are done over here. Okay, so now our screens are done, whatever we have the screens, right? If you now this time, now from here where we need is we need the first screen. So we'll get back to our assignment. Why we are getting back to our assignment? Because after that we must need to tell the system that our current stage is the stage that we have set, which is basically contact information, and from there again our flow will work, and that will work after only this particular screen, which is finish screen. Okay, so that is what we have to save it, then we have to debug it to see the information. So here you see here it is asking of record ID. We are not creating any record, so we will leave that as a blank here. Now you can see it is asking contact information, and we are here under contact information, that we have opportunity, then we have finish. If suppose that I provide anything, say that Amit Singh or whatever I provide, and then if you click on next opportunity information, you can see here this contact information has been completed. Now the error is there on the opportunity information. You can say here whatever the opportunity want, whatever the value do you have, close date, and then if you click on next create opportunity, you can see here it says that opportunity created successfully, sorry, record created successfully, and we are here on the finish. It is saying that error element, right? And if we say click create another opportunity, we will be here on the contact information. But if we want to get rid of this error, what you can do is just get back to your component and remove this has error as a true, and now your component is ready without an error. So this is what we have. Next thing that what we need is, from here we have to use two create record component, right? One is for contact, and then if contact is created, then create opportunity. So to do that, just use this create records over here, and we will say that create contact record. We will use single and we will use separators, and then what we will use is we will say that contact, and then here field we have last name, then you have first name, email, and phone. So for last name, from where we'll find is we have got a contact name component. We will find last name and first name both from that component. For email, we already have an email component, so we will say that email.value. And similarly, we have got phone component where we will select phone.value, and we have got this contact record done. Okay, so we'll have this contact record over here. Then we will have one more record which will say that it is going to have an opportunity record. So to do that, let's quickly have a create record over here, and this time we will say that create opportunity record. Similarly, we'll select one record. The object is going to be opportunity, and we will map all the fields. You already know how to do that, so I'll not tell you over here. One thing that we need to map is account ID, because we have to map that account ID to our variable called record ID for both our opportunity as well as for our contact, so that our our opportunity and contact is getting created under the same account. Then there is one more thing in our requirement. If you see, create an opportunity, create a contact, and then also create an opportunity contact role. That means associate this contact with this particular opportunity. To do that, again, just go ahead and drag and drop, and here we'll say that create OCR. You have to use opportunity contact role. So this is our object. Then what we need is we need contact ID, then we need opportunity ID, because this is a junction object between opportunity and contact. Then you need a role field as well. So what you have to do is, let's quickly have a contact ID. From where we will get is, we have got contact ID from create contact record. Similarly, we will get opportunity ID from create opportunity record, and role we will select, it is going to be the economic decision maker. Okay, this is the default role, and we'll click on done. Now what we have to do is, we have to just go ahead and say, okay, let's quickly drag and connect these dots. Once we have connected, now connect the screen here with the our final record. Okay, now there might be some error while creating any of these records, right? So how we will do that? If there is any error, use a rollback records. This is a new element we got. We'll say that bye bye changes, and then what we have to do is just go ahead and add this. It will say that, okay, fault screen, again a fault, and then again fault. Anything happens, we have to do the rollback from any of these create record. So we are just doing the rollback. And then what we have to do is, if that is happening, if there is any error, it is not going to go here. So from here we have to create another screen which will say, okay, error screen. So let's quickly have one screen, say that error screen. Here what we will display is whatever the error is. Okay, so we'll say that, okay, here we'll say that error. How to display, you already know. We have got a flow, and then you have got fault message. And then again, if you want to change the font size, you want to change the color, you can just go ahead and do that. Then click on done. What you have to do is, from here you have to come here, and then from here you need to go to the assignment. Why we are doing that? So that we can just quickly go there. From again, we can go from error screen to our screen number 1, that is contact information. So this is what we have. And again, in the error screen, what we have to do is, as we are in stage number 3, we have to add that screen. We'll say that flow stages, so that we can be on the same screen to display the stage. So we'll say that flow error, and current stage is going to be flow dot current stage. Active stage is going to be flow dot active stages. Click on done, and then save it. So now our flow is ready. The complete flow is ready, where we are taking the input, we are setting up all our informations, like how to. We will go there and we will debug it. This time we will find the account ID as well as an input parameter for the flow. Go ahead and provide that ID that you have got. Click on run. So you are here on the contact information. So I'll select Amit's, sorry, that first name should be Amit, last name should be Singh, and let's quickly provide one email, which is whatever we have got, and then contact phone. This is some random number I have provided. We will click on next opportunity information. We are here, so let's say that salesforce.org, and we will also name as it is SFDC Panther. Amount, we will say whatever amount we have, stage name as well as the close date. And then you can just go there, create opportunity. Then we have seen record created successfully, right? If you see here, this is the contact role, the OCR that we have got, this is the opportunity, and this is the contact that we have got. So if we wanted to see everything at one place, we'll open this opportunity record. In our record detail page, just replace the opportunity ID with the account ID, and then it will take you to the opportunity detail page. So here, this is our opportunity. It is associated with an account. These are all the values that we have given. And if you see here, this contact role, the account that we have, sorry, the contact we have just created with all the information. Okay, that means our information is working fine. Now if you want to activate this flow, you can just go ahead and activate this, and then under your account, you wanted to add that here on the top here to add the account information or whatever you have, say that create opportunity. So to do that, you can just go ahead and edit the component and put that over here. You already know how to do that, how to pass the values, so I'll not show you. So this is it for this video. Thank you for your time. In the next video, we will talk about how to call the Apex from our Lightning screen flow. That will also be used in the record triggered flow. And before you go ahead, please do like, share, subscribe the channel. And also, if you have any scenario that came into your mind, please feel free to send us to us in the email which is provided in the description. And we will meet into the next video. Thank you.